Good day, everyone. I am Dee Emeralda, wrapping up yesterday's progression with the United Nations Assemblies, brought to you by the IPC Broadcast. From the Economic and Social Council, it appears that progress has been set upon discussing the true purpose of the Interpol, brought to you by Al Jazeera.
Just in from Al Jazeera News, from the Economic and Social Council in Champions Cup, they are talking about the mitigating labor exploitation of refugees, and they are talking about how does Interpol can integrate and help with mitigating labor exploitation. Let's take a look. According to the delegates of the Islamic Republic of Iran, he stated that Interpol are meant for capturing criminals and not protecting the refugees.
Not protection. Involving Interpol in this will not only...
This stand is also partially agreed by the delegates of Malaysia, but he also mentions that we should implement a new law where Interpol can work with the government to track down if there are any labor exploitation regarding the refugee situations.
Interpol's right now is lack of law specifics towards labor law, and they are more towards to human rights and data protection. Hence, these delegates would like to propose that we should cooperate with the Interpol organizations with coming out with law that is against the labors instead of just refugees. Thank you.
A new tech was introduced by the delegates of the United States where he mentions implementing a concentration camp or program where refugees can sharpen their skills and acquire higher paying jobs.
Interpol has specialized training. They will be able to understand the criminal organizations and what can cause them. And as long as they have understand, and as the delegate of Netherlands has said, they have an organization for labor laws and for migration. So this will help all countries in this context.
Thank you, Al Jazeera. Next up, following the Security Council, China appears to be pivoting towards legal interventions upon an unexpected collaboration. Brought to you by MalaysiaKini.
Good evening, I am Safa Amelia. You are now watching MalaysiaKini. You are watching the exclusive coverage of the ongoing UNSC deliberations on the involvement of international organization crime in times of conflict. China made a surprising move proposing a joint working paper with USA today in UNSC. The sudden shift has sparked speculations among delegates indeed. This unexpected collaborations introduces new dimensions to UNSC proceedings. Is China pivoting toward legal interventions, or does this partnership serve a large geopolitical play only? For the United Nations headquarters today, I'm Safa, reporting for MalaysiaKini. Stay with us. We will bring you further updates.
Thank you, MalaysiaKini. To wrap up the day, we have a special report from the BBC News covering the United Nations General Assembly's press conference addressing their current mission to reunite refugee families, albeit with much to be understood from their working paper.
Good evening and welcome to BBC News. This evening, we're bringing up news to the studio about rising tension between the press journalist and an ambassador of Russia to the United Nations General Assembly. Let's take a look for more details.
Therefore, Ambassador, are you implementing that as a permanent five member, you are unable to control the troops' safety? And isn't this a very, in all due respect, a very bad negligence on your side as a permanent five member sitting in the United Nations Security Council? Thank you.
Can you phrase it into a statement? Okay, you can't tell a difference between a person who's working at the UN and a person who's a refugee, because a person is a person. Okay? You can't go and identify, are you under the UN agency? No, I am not. Okay, we are clear, we can bomb the place. No, that is not what happens during war.
During a press conference in the General Assembly, the Iranian ambassador been presenting his ideas together with the solid of the fundamental effort proposed together with its allies to further prepare a solid solutions to further mitigate the issues of refugee.
What?
Summarize.
Oh yes, okay. So throughout the entire council, essentially it's been two blocks. It's been Iran and Russia, and also Myanmar, and also UK and US, and the rest of the European people, the Fosse, whatever. So anyway, so these two blocks are not really distinct. Honestly, we've been working on kind of the same thing, and we are working to ratify it into one singular block later on. But that's Anyway, the main thing we are working on is number one, the establishment of UN base camps in specific refugee areas, like close to refugee areas, so that refugees can properly be rehabilitated. And second of all, we are working on the establishment of psychological therapy for any refugees, and also the integration of a family rehabilitation visa in order to make sure that all of the refugees can be easily rehabilitated. Not refugees, the family of the refugees can easily find back their family in the countries that they were originally from, using this visa, which will allow for a much speedier bureaucratic process. And then other than that, we are also working on this hasn't been mentioned yet, but then job vocational offers. Oh yes, also transit centers are also being included. Transit centers are now yes, transits. And then finally, of course, we are looking at a very large issue that was raised in the council was what if refugees are actually spies? And this never made sense to Iran. So.
And that's all with BBC News. Have a pleasant evening.
That is all for today. Be sure to keep up to date with more headlines as well as the latest updates. This has been Dee Emeralda, and you are watching the IPC Broadcast.